Hello and welcome, beautiful souls, to my channel, Light of Shaya, my channel all about illuminating the spiritual path forward and bringing you uplifting messages of love and light. Thank you so much for being here. Welcome to those of you who are new, and welcome to those of you who are returning. So, I've already did a daily message from Spirit, as usual, but there was another calling that I had about another message that was a little bit more urgent in nature regarding the spiritual path that I needed to get out. So immediately the Isis Oracle cards were the thing that I was drawn to. So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm not really sure what this message is about. However, interestingly enough, as I was shuffling this, the Wild Unknown Spirit Animal Oracle deck came out, or rather, I was being called to it. And I just remembered that last night I had a dream about Panther Spirit coming through very strongly. And as I was shuffling, it kept wanting to come out. And it's actually at the bottom of the deck right now. And this card speaks of removing the unnecessary in our lives. It's about purging the unnecessary. And it's basically the Tower of the Spirit Animal Unknown deck. So that's just something I wanted to get out there. But what messages do you have for us here, Spirit, from the Isis Oracle? What messages do you have here, Spirit? Interesting. Interesting. I'm going to take these. Okay, this is actually pretty interesting. Scales of Balance at the bottom of the deck, Ancient Chantra of the Soul. So a lot of you are needing to find a little more balance in your life, I'm getting. We have Mother of Life, Nourishment of the Golden Grain Mother. We have Healing the Divine Masculine, Osiris Rises. And you can see Isis in the background here. She's the one that revived him after all, after he had been dismembered by his brother. Portal of Light, she glides on wings through time and space. Very beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to be reading out of the book for these in just a moment here, but I'm going to go ahead and be using the Light Seer Tarot to get into this. I'm going to be using a spread of mine this is all about taking a look at patterns and kind of like where you guys are at, past patterns, current lessons, etc. So I'll go ahead and run that through you, or run you through this in just a moment. Jeez, Mercury being in retrograde makes it so difficult to communicate. So where is our viewer at? There. Oh, wow. Whew. Okay, this is why this is incredibly important to get out. We have the Devil card here. So some sort of attachment that you guys have that is somewhat toxic in nature. Why are people yelling outside? I do not know. What are the past patterns that our viewer needs to be made aware of? Justice. So some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn, others of you could be dealing with the Libra. For some of you, oh yes, balance, right? Remember the scales of balance here? I think I'm actually going to read out of the book for this one as well, because it must be a very important message. What needs to be accepted by the viewer? King of Swords, interesting. Logic, clear thinking. This is all about logic and understanding the masculine aspects of the mind, being detached and being able to see things clearly. It's about seeing the big picture. It's about being able to communicate effectively without getting your feelings involved. Whew. Oh yeah, the Moon wants to come out as well. So a lot of fear here. This is very important. This is a very important message. Lessons regarding the past for our viewer. King of Wands. Too many cards here. Spirit is trying to throw 3 cards at a time at me, and I'm like, walking away from something. Spirit. Okay, give me a second, guys, because this message is so urgent that like a bunch of cards keeps wanting to flip out, and I can't really work with that. So let's go ahead. 1 card at a time, please. Lesson regarding the past. There it is. Thank you. Knight of Pentacles, slow forward movement. This is actually in correspondence with the daily message from Spirit that I had earlier this morning. And what is the current lesson for our viewer? Current lesson, please. Look at this. Balance. Again, equal give and take. Whew, I got chills. I'm getting chills, guys. Whoa. Whew. Okay, this is a very potent message. And there seems to be revolving themes here. We have 2 air signs. We have 2 earth signs. And then we have the devil here, which is also strength wants to come out. So it's about overcoming something. You're likely overcoming something. But what is the trajectory or future for the viewer, please? Manifesting, looking out into the world. We have the 2 of Wands here for the trajectory. I'm going to go ahead and get into the future energies, and if I need to clarify, I'll get into that in a moment. But I'm just trying to set up the cards here so you guys kind of get an idea of what's going on, and then I'll get started on reading from the book and all that lovely stuff. So from the Spirit Animal, the Wild Unknown Spirit Animal Oracle deck, I always get the name mixed up. Let's see here. Okay, what is the message from the Wild Unknown Spirit Animal Oracle cards here for our viewer, Spirit? I know this Panther was really wanting to come out very strongly. Okay. We had another card that flipped out, Hawk, really wanted to come out. Cosmic Egg at the bottom of the deck. So this is about tapping into the universal consciousness. Just want to make sure you guys can see this, and then I'm going to get into the book, okay? Alrighty, guys, so let's get into this message here. Excuse me. So with the Mother of Life card here, so especially with the Devil card here, there's something that you're experiencing right now, and I'm getting a great deal of imbalance, especially with the fact that we have the Six of Pentacles and the Justice card here. And with the Devil, usually this is about... some of you may be dealing with an addiction of some sort. And remember, this could be an addiction to, it doesn't have to be like drugs or anything like that. It could be food, it could be sex, it could be a feeling. Some people get addicted to feeling sad, for example. That's a great, that for example with depression, and having gone through depression myself in the past, you kind of almost get addicted to the feelings of sadness. So, your body does, from what I understand, your brain does release dopamine as a result of the pain. It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. But anyway, there's some sort of behavior or discomfort that you're experiencing right now. And the divine is trying to heal these aspects with you, because this part of you is about the divine masculine within you, which would be explained here with the Justice card and the Six of Pentacles, because these cards speak of balance. And balance is within the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves, when it is that you should give and when it is that you should receive, right? So let's go ahead and read the Mother of Life. We can sometimes fall into existing and doing rather than truly living. We only know that this has happened when suddenly our life seems dry, depleted, filled with tasks, or it feels like we are stuck in a rut or habit that may have been comfortable but is becoming stifling and suppressing. Isis, the Mother of Life, holds the ability to restore even the most numb, resistant, and difficult circumstances and people back into life. She calls to you now, seeking to bestow gifts of life upon you. Be bold and brave, open your arms and receive. Isis is known as a sustainer of life, able to restore, nourish, and bring to life that which has been cast aside or lost, that which you have considered beyond repair, a lost cause, or deadened. There are parts of your life, beloved initiate, that are ready to receive more life. You will be able to recognize this in any discomfort that you are currently experiencing in your life. Discomfort and unfamiliarity is where life is attempting to break through to you, to reach through the walls that you may have once created to protect yourself, but that now you need to either climb over, demolish, or at least open up with some doors and windows. The tricky part is that most often we don't consciously realize that we are not living. It is not until we start to live more trustingly that it becomes obvious that we once were hiding ourselves from life. Life is calling you to partake more so of her gifts of experience. This oracle brings encouragement and guidance for you to learn skills and practices that nourish you and your community. You have the Divine Mother within you. How shall you offer nourishment through her? So, a lot of you have been going through some form of discomfort or just in general feeling like the zest of life is a little bit gone. You may have fallen into a routine of some sort that really isn't fulfilling you anymore. Some of you with the Devil card, this may be what it is. You have an addiction, so to speak, or like a form of like codependency with some sort of habit in your life. This could come in various forms. This could be some sort of activity that you've enjoyed doing before that now you're kind of just doing because it's a routine. For example, let's say after work, you come home and you binge Netflix. And that's kind of just how you spend your afternoon or the rest of your day. Or for some other people, that may be video games. It could be drinking. It could be smoking cannabis. It could be sex for others. It really comes through very differently for everyone, right? So this is a matter of really just trying to identify what is a behavior in your life that doesn't really isn't really necessary for your growth anymore, and really start asking yourself these questions. With the Healing the Divine Masculine card, the divine masculine aspects of ourselves are very protective energies. It allows the feminine in us to thrive and to grow and to really expand. It allows your creativity to expand. So with the divine masculine aspects of yourself being healed right now, this is about being more sure of yourself. This is about growing in confidence and becoming more sure of yourself and allowing yourself to grow as a person, unlike in any way that you haven't before. And with the Portal of Light, I'm going to go ahead and read out of the book for this one. Let's see here. She glides on wings through time and space. It is only this physical reality that is bound by time and space. You are being conscious on levels beyond the physical world. You are guided to work with your healing powers beyond the confines of time and space and to allow your sense of self to expand. It is safe for you to do this now. You will not become ungrounded through such spiritual growth. You are not leaving your earthly awareness. You are instead adding to it. You are growing in power and awareness. You have had breakthrough insights where you realize that you are not who you thought you were. You are in fact a much vaster being. Sometimes this was shocking and uncomfortable and difficult to accept, and other times it was gentle and made much sense to you. You are learning to integrate this awareness of your vast self into your life. The practical consequences of doing so are extraordinary. To live with less and less fear and insecurity, to become more detached and more passionate, more loving and less demanding, to need less and receive more, to feel more joy and exert less force to attain it. Such wonderful gifts await you. Wow. So once again, this is really, for me, speaking of the ascension process, especially with the hawk here. I'll go ahead and look into these cards for you in just a moment here. But I know that the hawk is about seeing things from a bigger, more spiritual perspective. It's about really just seeing the big picture. And the King of Swords here, or this is Aquarian energy, this also speaks about being able to see the big picture from a very detached, logical point of view. No emotions. It's a very clinical approach, if you will. And it looks like you're starting to understand and look at things, or rather, since this is in the area of what needs to be accepted in your life right now, it's very important that you try your best to detach yourself from certain situations so you can see the big picture. Is there something that you're not seeing clearly right now because you're being asked to look at things from a higher perspective here with the hawk? There's some sort of imbalance in your life. In the past, some of you could have been dealing with some sort of a divorce, a toxic connection for some of you with the devil here. But that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Remember, guys, this is a general reading and it's going to resonate differently for every person who's watching. So take whatever resonates, leave what does not. And with the Knight of Pentacles here, this is the lesson regarding the past. In what cases have you been impatient? In what cases have you wanted to rush into things? Maybe that's what the cheetah here is about. Likely, because these are contradictory energies here. With the Knight of Pentacles, this is about slow, methodical movement. It's about accepting that sometimes things require a great deal of time and some effort, very methodical effort, in order for the fruits of your labor to really come through, for that abundance to come through. With the current lesson here with the Six of Pentacles, this also speaks of balance. Where is there equal give and take in your life? Are you investing into things that no longer need investing into? Is there a connection or some sort of thing that you've been giving way too much energy into and it's not really paying off? Because if that's the case, the lesson you need to learn right now is about taking that energy back and really just investing it into yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're the most important person ever in your life. You are the main character of the story that you are writing. And it is important that you recognize that you need to write the story as if you are the protagonist, because you are. So when you start looking at things from this perspective, you will start to see that if somebody does not serve your highest good, it's time to cut them out. It's time to bring justice to the situation, justice to yourself. So with the scales of balance, that's another important energy that was coming through the Isis Oracle deck. And this is really important for you to understand. You are a Tantrika and initiate on the path of divine healing of the masculine and feminine. Once again, balance, balance, balance. All of this is screaming about balance. The two sacred polarities that are universal to human experience. As these energies come into mutual respect and balance, you attain great power, presence, and healing effect in the world of the soul and in the human world of forms here on this earth. You are supported in further exploring this path now under the auspices and blessings of beloved Isis. So once again, if you are experiencing some discomfort right now, if you're feeling things are out of balance right now, it's important for you to really start cultivating yourself and paying attention to what it is in your life that you're prioritizing, okay? What is it that you are adding emphasis into, and is it worth your time? Because if it's not, then it's likely that you shouldn't be investing your time into it. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and read out of the book for Cheetah. Listen to this. It's just so fascinating to me. So the cheetah represents solar force, action, achievement, and masculine energy. The cheetah is the epitome of the solar forces at work. The sun doesn't shine onto the cheetah. It shines from inside this great creature and expounds outward to brighten the universe. The energy within a cheetah personality is palpable to others, and they naturally attract an audience to bear witness to their remarkable achievements. Purpose and passion are the best fuel for a cheetah's forward momentum. So if you're lacking in those areas, reconnect to the why before you start running. When out of balance, this is about impatience and feeling competitive. So right now, if you guys are feeling out of balance, you're being asked to reconnect to your purpose. What is the why? What is it that's driving you? What is it that motivates you? And really start asking yourself these questions. Are you looking at life from a very materialistic point of view? Because the devil could speak about materialism here. Are you looking at things from the sense of monetary pentacles? We do have two cards here of pentacles. So some of you may be looking at this from a very monetary point of view, something very financial. And interestingly enough, the King of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck as well. Maybe you're looking at things from the perspective of like, what can I gain out of this materially? Remember, guys, that might not resonate for everybody, but that's something to keep in mind. Is there something that you're feeling impatient towards? Something that you're feeling competitive towards? And the question that you should be asking yourself is why. Now, within the near future here, we have the Two of Wands, which is a card of manifestation. This card is about looking upon the world and seeing that all things are possible. I'm going to go ahead and clarify this Two of Wands and see what this is about. And then we'll get into some messages from the angels and ancestors. Two of Wands about spirit. If you're enjoying this content, please do hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help the channel out with its growth, and it allows me to bring messages to people who are just like you, who are looking for a little bit of clarity in their lives. Wow, look at this. Yes. So with the Two of Wands here, this card speaks of planning and looking out towards the future. There's likely some sort of ending that has happened, something very painful that is ending or has ended for you. This is a future energy. This is a future energy. So it looks like you're finally turning your back on something that no longer serves you, walking away from something that hurts you. And what awaits you now is the Queen of Wands here. This is your energy of being vibrant. This is masculine energy in a feminine form, which really speaks of the congruence here of the cheetah, of that solar energy. Do you see that like ball of like sunlight almost that she's holding in her hands, and the joy that she's just exuding? This card really speaks of being in balance with the masculine and feminine energies of passion and creation, that solar force. This is the divine spark, being brought into your life and really just coming through you. And look what awaits you here. Victory, Six of Wands, all of the attention that you've been looking for, the victory, the forward movement that you've been wanting in your life is coming through. Likely after some sort of healing, because we do have the Four of Swords at the bottom of the deck. And here with this Cosmic Egg at the bottom of the Wild Unknown Spirit Animal Oracle cards, this is really just speaking to me of you tapping into the divine tapestry. You being able to tap into the divine. And understanding that you're a being of consciousness and really just becoming powerful, overcoming these challenges. So there's a matter of just you really looking internally and asking yourself, what makes you uncomfortable? And if there's something that you've been searching for, ask yourself the question as to why. Okay? The why is very important for you right now. So any messages from the angels and ancestors? These cards here. Okay, we have Lady, enjoy growth and reap rewards. Wow. And then we have Arrow, surround yourself with protective energy. So with the Lady here, there's something that you've been likely working on that is going to bring you some sort of abundance. This is about receiving. This card is all about receiving. Enjoy the process of growing. Right now you're going through a lot of discomfort. But I mean, every creature on this planet that, for example, has an exoskeleton, let's say, what's a good example? Like crabs. Yeah, like hermit crabs, I think, for example. They outgrow their shells and they end up, from what I understand, shedding their skin, their exoskeleton. And that honestly is a very uncomfortable process. You can only imagine what it must feel like for you to remove the outer layer of your skin to grow into something new, right? Another example of that are like snakes or creatures who need to shed their skin. Think of the caterpillar, for example. It needs to turn itself into goo in order for it to become a butterfly. And so likewise, growth oftentimes becomes very uncomfortable for us. But what comes out of that growth that is very, very uncomfortable is us reaping the rewards of the discomfort that we've experienced, because now we've learned something new from this discomfort. We've allowed ourselves to expand. Now with the Arrow card here, it says surround yourself with protective energy. Right now, protecting yourself is very important. This is a very masculine energy once again. Do you see the congruence here? One is very feminine with the Lady here. And then with the Arrow, this is a very masculine projective energy. And so you're being asked right now to really just go within, protect yourself. Protect yourself and understand that it's okay for you to feel the way that you do. With the Knight at the bottom of the deck here, it says, be brave and honest. So if you're feeling a certain way, honor your feelings. Allow them to pass and flow through you. Flow through you. Don't hold on to them. Just experience them. And if you need to cry or whatever it is that you feel at that time to let it out, maybe you need to just take a really deep breath to let out. If you're experiencing like anger, for example, if you're feeling sadness and you need to cry, let it all out. Just let it flow through you. Being vulnerable does not make you weak. As a matter of fact, it makes you a stronger human being. The narcissist would like to, and the psychopath would like to tell you that it's a form of weakness, but that is so far from the truth. Because in our vulnerability, it allows us to expand and it allows us to demonstrate that it takes more courage to be open and honest than for you to mask and hide your feelings. Because at that point, you're taking the coward's way out, so to speak. With that being said, embrace the change, embrace what it is that you're feeling called towards. Ask yourself the question, why? What is it that is motivating me at this moment in time? And how can I allow myself to ease into this discomfort, ease into the change? Okay? With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the reading here. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, if you enjoyed the content, please do hit the like and subscribe button. And I am sending you so much love and so much light. Take care.